Hey friend, thanks for joining for another video blog. I'm here back in my trainer's hat with my whiteboard, my colorful pens. And we're back today in the subject of change. Why change is so hard and why a lot of people don't change. Well, it's a complex topic, so I'm gonna break it down in one aspect today. The reason a lot of people don't stick with changes, they don't sustain the habits that will produce positive changes, it's because we all, including myself, live in a culture, live in a time and era of instant gratification. Who doesn't love instant gratification? I do. If you on your Facebook, you wanted the instant gratification of many likes and comments on your Instagram, or you start exercising and you want to see your six-pack soon, and if it's not soon, you might give up, or you might say this exercise routine is not changing, or this trainer is not working for me, or this diet is not working for me, right? We want fast results, and that's a trap. That is a trap. So I don't want to just share this with you because I know you understand in an intellectual level. I want to share with you a little more what's behind this need for fast change. So number one, we want to fast because we want an instant reward. Also, we want to fast because we might be in a place of a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, and we are desperate to get out of that space. We want to get out of pain, right? Because biologically, we wired to seek pleasure. So in order to create authentic and sustainable changes, we need to get comfortable with a little bit of discomfort. We need to get comfortable with a little pain. And sometimes the pain, all that is patience, it's persistence, it's belief and faith in the process. So we really need to shift our mindset into creating patience. Because the moment you become impatient, you start tapping into the scarcity mindset that things are not happening for you. The money is not happening for you. The relationship's not happening for you. The body change is not happening for you. Stop that nonsense. Think about for a second. How many years did it take for you, either if you're 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, 60, how many years of habits, of conditioning, of program took you to get to where you are today? And all of a sudden you want a fast change. So let's face it, we all deal with a little bit of not just impatient, but I think we all deal with a little bit of arrogance at times. I certainly have. I opened a business and in 3 years I wanted to be a tremendous success. And I know, well, it takes a good 10 years for a business to start making money, for entrepreneurs and business leaders to break that ceiling. Great that some people might be breaking the ceiling at their first 3, 4, 5 years. Good for them. That's not the average, right? So let's explore a little bit of how complex we are. First of all, I'm going to use something here that I used the other day to teach a class. Think that we are this complex, this holistic, beautiful model of physical body, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Physical being our body, how we take care of our physical health, right? Emotional being means our emotions, our feelings, our ability to relate to others, the quality of our relationships, okay? Mental, that's our mindset, our beliefs, the thoughts we have every day, the paradigms, the philosophies we follow, right? And then the spiritual body, which is our sense of purpose, our sense of connection with a high power. But let's just stick with purpose, know what you're here for. So that's the spiritual, living your truth and knowing what is your truth, right? Something that we're exploring, some of us every day. If you're a seeker like me, you're exploring that every single day. So number one, understand that you are a complex, beautiful, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being. So when we talk about changing, we might change, for example, our mindset. And when you change your mindset, you might be able to see some changes. So you change your thinking, you put, positive affirmations all over your house, and you start to shift your thinking. And if you don't shift also your emotions, if you don't shift your spiritual, which is your truth, if really know your values, and you don't change the habits that is going to make you healthier, the change might not be sustainable. So I'm just touching this model here, which shows you how complex we are. Now I'm going to go to a framework that's going to be a little more simple. I want to talk about the concept of slight edge. Great book called Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And he talks basically about the compound effect of our habits. So remember I was saying a few minutes earlier that it takes years and years and years of same habits, conditioning, programs, repetition every day to get us certain type of outcome or result. So think of this bar here that is the accumulation of days, weeks, months, even years. And if you are unconscious, these habits will either take you eventually to a place that you don't want to be, or they're going to take you to a place that you want to be. Because that's the thing. The accumulation of good habits will definitely bring you the outcome that you want. But also the accumulation of bad habits will take you somewhere as well. So either you choose to be conscious about your habits, mental, physical, emotional, either you're conscious or not, you are going somewhere. And how many of us at times have gone to a place that you don't want to be? Like I remember 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was so ashamed and I dealt with so many negative emotions because I realized I was almost 40 years old and I was broke. And I was like, how did I end up here? Well, because of accumulation of philosophies, habits, beliefs, associations that I had with money, for example, or the lack of habits around money, or the habit of spending too much money. So I end up where you don't want to be, right? And then I became conscious. So now I'm in the process as well, and having way better results, and end up in places that I want to be. And ultimately, if I keep repeating this, for weeks, months, years, I know things will get better and better, and I'll get the outcome that I want, whatever that is. So this is just to show you that, again, no matter if you're conscious or unconscious about your habits, it's going to take you somewhere. And the problem is we don't see, because this bar here is the accumulation of months and even years. So you might get here where you broke or where you are 50 pounds overweight, whatever it is, and it did not happen overnight. It happened on the compound effect, just like money interest, right? It's a compound, and then all of a sudden there's this slight edge in that what looked like a straight line, because it wasn't showing you the consequences right away, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say you decide to just let go of your nutrition and you start just eating burger, fries, pizza, beer 3-4 times a week. And other times you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And you're gonna do that for a week. You're gonna do that for a month. You might do that for a whole year. And you might look at your body, it's like, you see, I look the same. Nothing has changed. So you keep doing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And then all of a sudden after 5 years, you might have high blood pressure. You might have heart disease. You might have signs of early, Alzheimer's, because your brain is inflamed. So even though you might not be seeing these things over a period of time, eventually this, what looks like straight line, will go different ways. Think about our airplane that will take off from San Francisco and wants to go to New York. But let's say the calibration on the airplane, something is not functioning well, and maybe the instrument of the airplane is off 2 degrees. What would happen initially? The pilot is not going to know. Now, I'm not, expert in physics or math, but there's a calculation that people can do. But for a while, the pilot is not going to notice that the airplane is actually off course, because it's going to feel like he's going to the right direction, until he might be very close to the East Coast and he realizes that he's in Miami instead of New York, only because it was 1 or 2 degrees difference. But over time, that 1-2 degrees difference might create this much separation. The difference between being fit and healthy versus being sick and overweight, for example, right? That's just an example. Or wealthy or completely broke. So I'm showing here a model of the slide edge because it's a great way to show that it's the accumulation of our daily habits that is going to take us to where we want to be or we don't want to be. And the punchline of this video is really about something that I learned recently in terms of focus, what my mindset was that really helped me. You know, what's going to help us not to focus on instant reward, because again, we all want an instant reward, is to change your focus from the outcome to the process. That's why I put the word process. If you focus on the process, which is basically on your daily actions, doing the right thing every day, because it's easy not to do the right thing, right? It's easier to eat a burger and a pizza or drink that beer a lot of times than eat a piece of grass-fed beef and broccoli and sparkling water instead, right? So daily actions, focus on the process. Because if you focus on the outcome, meaning I want to be there, I want to have like $1 million, let's say that's the outcome. And every day you focus on that, you're going to get discouraged pretty quickly because you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have disappointments. You're going to make mistakes along the way because success is not a straight line. So if you constantly focus on the outcome, you're constantly going to live in scarcity. You're constantly going to feel like you are failing, that you're not moving forward. Versus if you focus on the daily actions, the process, not the outcome. Like a famous writer who has written a bestseller. It is a bestseller because he just focused on the process of sitting down and doing his or her best work at that moment of inspiration, that moment of motivation, where the words are just flowing. The writer's not sitting down thinking, oh my God, when I'm going to finish this book, how many copies I'm going to sell, how much money I'm going to make, will a publisher even take my book? If you do that, you kill your art, and we all artists. So the artists, just like you, like me, we're all artists. We have our own craft. We have our own skills. We need to focus on the process, meaning what do I need to do today, every day? That puts me in a place of motivation, inspiration, right? I want to write a second book. I don't know when that's going to happen. So right now I'm trying to focus on the process, which is writing more blogs, for example, just developing the practice again of writing blogs before I decide to write a second book, which is, it's intense work and it's a lot of work. I'm preparing myself. So the process is about what you're doing every day. Like if you want to release 20 pounds of weight of your body, you can't just focus on that 20 pounds. It's good to know the outcome. Know your outcome and kind of put that in the corner of your mind. Put it there. You don't need to read every single day. Leave it there. And then the strategy comes by you developing your process. What are you going to do every single day that is like James Clear talks on atomic habits. How are you going to make that new behavior that is going to turn to a habit, a behavior that becomes attractive, simple, easy, right? It needs to be doable for you. So what that's going to be, and you focus on the process. Like if your process is, I'm going to work out 30 minutes every day. And today you worked out for 30 minutes. Awesome. You won today. And you can celebrate the wins. So you want to celebrate all these small wins, right? Another thing, the slide edge here, it shows that if you just improve yourself 1% a day, what does that mean in 1 year? I think it's something like if you improve 1% every day after, I can't remember if it's 100 days or a year, but I think it's a year, you'll be better 37% by improving 1% a day. I don't even know what 1% a day is. but just think about tiny, tiny little changes. That's about the process. So I just share here with you one strategy that can make change a little easier. Number one, understanding that we are complex. So because we are complex, we have to make the process of change simple. I'm not saying it's easy, simple. And that's pretty much my role as a coach with my clients. They come here with complex issues and I make it very easy for them so they can enjoy the process, because the process cannot be that painful all the time, because otherwise nobody's going to stick with it. Okay, the process needs to be somewhat doable, attractive, easier, or easy most of the time. All right, so that's what I want to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, please share in your social media, share with friends, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so when I post new videos, you get notified. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend.